Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this week's assembly. This week we're looking at Safer Internet Day, which actually is today. So in your classes today, I know your teachers have got lots of different things planned for you, looking at giving you the tools you need to keep yourself safe when you're online. And of course, at the moment, we are spending more time than ever on our computers. So it's really important that we're reassured that you've got all the skills and tools you need to keep you as safe as possible while you're in that space. Slides on. So what is Safer Internet Day? Well, Safer Internet Day is a global day. It's celebrated in over 170 countries, which is pretty much the whole world. And thousands of children will be joining in today across the UK as well, looking at all of these ways that we can keep ourselves safe. And reminding you of that actually, because I know you're already really good at it, really good at having those skills that mean you know what you can and can't trust. And that's the key to this year's Safer Internet Day, looking at trust. So I know you're in your virtual worlds, but put your hands up if you like playing games. Yeah, don't we all? Fantastic. If you like chatting to your friends. If you like video calling your friends or your family. If you like learning new things. Listening to music, watching videos. I know that's a pastime of a lot of us these days, especially with, so many varieties of kinds of video that you can get online, some of them quite funny. So today we're thinking, as I said, about trust online. So I just want you to think to yourself now, or if there's a grown-up around you, perhaps pause this video and think to yourself about trust. What is trust? It's very closely linked to integrity, of course, so we've talked about it a lot in school. I'm just going to give you a moment to think about that. Okay, so obviously trust is a complex thing, but really it's about the ability to believe in something in the way that it's presented to you. And you'll know that from when we talk about integrity in assembly, that sometimes trust is hard to gain and it's easy to lose. And actually we need to have our protective armour on in a way when we're online and be really thinking deeply about what is trustworthy and what doesn't look trustworthy, and trust our instincts just like we would in real life. We do that automatically in real life, and I think sometimes we're more trusting online than we should be. It's about you being really careful to make sure that you can trust things before you do. And we often have a strong belief when we know we can trust things. And we use our instincts. So, for example, if your teacher told you that there was a school trip coming up and that there was a letter going home to your parents, chances are you'd believe that. But if your little sister told you that the chocolate bar in the top cupboard in the kitchen that mum had hidden was okay for you to eat, you'd probably think, no, it's not. No, mum wouldn't have put it up there. A radar would go off. You'd know it wasn't true and you'd worry about whether or not to believe her. That's good. That's your instincts working. And it's really important that you look at those same skills when you're online. So can we trust everything that we see online? What do you think? Give me a thumbs up if you think we can. Give me a thumbs down if you think we can't. And I would hope if we were in the assembly hall at the moment and we were talking about this together, I'd have most of you with your thumbs down, because actually, really everybody's thumb should be down. We can't trust everything we see online because we don't know who's putting it on the internet. The internet is an open field for everybody who would like to contribute to. So lots of things are on there from untrustworthy people as well as from trustworthy people, which is why it's so important, like I said, that you've got your armour on, the green umbrella as we say in school. You've got your green umbrella up and you know that it's safe before you trust it. Really important. So maybe just with the grown-up who's with you or having a think, just think of some examples of things you can trust and things perhaps that you can't trust, and what is the sign that helps you to know if something's trustworthy or not. Maybe pause the video so that you can do that. Okay, well, one of the ways you might have said is that if it's from a source that's trustworthy. So if it was on the school website or Childline, NSPCC, the RSPCA, reputable people who you know in real life are trustworthy, then that might be a sign that something was trustworthy. But obviously, and if it was from an unsourced thing, something that just appeared to be, posted by somebody random online, then maybe it wouldn't be so trustworthy. So it's about looking at where it's come from, who has contributed this information to the internet. So let's have a look at some things we can trust. So we're going to play a game called Trust It or Check It. I'll show you an example of something that you might see online, and I'd like you to have a think about whether or not you can trust it, and check with an adult, okay? And were we together, I'd be asking for your thoughts on these. So perhaps you can share your thoughts with somebody around you, with a grown-up or an older sibling who's with you, or perhaps jot them down and think about them. So, would you trust this or would you check it? And how would it make you feel? I'm just going to move this. So, hey, nice win in the last match. Fancy trading for the purple ice blast? Saw you had 2. Yeah, thanks. Yeah. What you got to trade? I've got a super rare crystal. Send me the ice blast first so I know I can trust you, and I'll send it after. So these messages are from King Cody 439. How would it make you feel? Would you feel happy? Would you feel curious? Would you feel confused? Would you feel shocked? Would you feel angry? Would you feel worried? How would they make you feel? Have a think. Well, I would hope that you would feel a bit worried, okay? Because I'm assuming you don't know this person, because this person is King Cody 439, and if you look next to the name you can see the box that says add friend. So this isn't somebody you're already friends with. This is somebody that you are talking to over a game console that you've never met. So you don't know who that is. So you need to be really careful when you're talking to people online that you don't know in real life. And actually, our rule is that you should only be talking to people online that you have physically met and know in real life, because you don't know how old this person is, you don't know where they come from, you don't know anything about them. It's also an unofficial trade, which would mean in many games that actually isn't allowed. So it's not safe and it's not trustworthy. And you need to be really careful when you're talking to people online that you don't know. So I would hope you would tell a grown-up about that immediately and that you would not trade. That would have been the right answer. How about this one? If you saw this advert online, would you trust it or would you check it? Now, it can be tricky to tell if an advert is trustworthy or not, so it's always best to check, and if you aren't sure, you could look up the advert separately online and then speak to an adult about whether it's real or not. How would seeing something like this make you feel, though? I bet there's a real mix here. I bet some of you would be quite curious and happy if you were honest when you first saw it, because it does look great. The graphics are great. Invade planets, build empires. Really, really keying into some of the things that we really love about gaming. But I would hope that you would pause and you would think about it, and you would use that instinct that you would use in real life to know that it's not always safe to click on the buttons that you see online, and that you should be confused and worried, and you should think about it before you go any further. Talking to an adult, and as I said, checking it somewhere else online, just Googling it and seeing what other people say about it. Trust this or check it. If you saw this chain message online, would you trust it or check it? So today is Friday the 13th. Unlucky for some. Let's turn this into a good day. Send this message to 5 friends to get good luck all weekend. Don't ignore it or you'll be cursed with bad luck for 10 years. Don't break the chain. Okay, I'd like you to pause and have a think, or talk to a grown-up. Okay, it can be worrying when you receive a chain message. It's important to remember that these things are not true. However, if you're worried by what you've read or seen, it is always good to talk to an adult you trust. And it's best not to share these on, as what you'll do then is you'll cause more people to worry. It's really important that you just remember that this is just something that somebody, probably like you, has written themselves, and they've put that clue at the bottom, about that thing at the bottom, sorry, about being bad luck for 10 years, because they want to make you pass it on. Okay, it's not real, and you mustn't do it because you'll worry other people. I would suggest that you screenshot it and you show it to somebody. Show it to a grown-up at home or somebody at school when you're coming into school. Be interesting to know how this makes you feel, actually. It would make me angry and a bit shocked, possibly, that somebody had sent it to me. I wouldn't feel curious. I wouldn't feel like doing it and passing it on. I wouldn't be confused because I would think, this is somebody trying to make me do something I don't want to do, and I would not trust it. So I hope that's what you said too. Trust it or check it. Scientists reveal plan to build a giant freezer to prevent global warming. Would you trust this, or would you check it? Well, this example looks like it might be a joke, and people usually share jokes to make people laugh. Jokes tend to be exaggerated, or they can be sarcastic. That's when you say one thing but you mean another. You mean the opposite often. And they might be trying to make fun of something or someone. It's important to read past the headline and look at who it's written by. Look at who this one is written by. It's written by J. Oka, or Joker. So there is a clue there that it can't be trustworthy. It's really important with news that we don't trust one source and that we go to sources that are reliable and trustworthy. So going to a global news source like the BBC or CNN or other big news corporations is normally a bit more reliable than just trusting clickbait or adverts that we see at the social media side. Even then, though, you should not automatically trust things. You should always be a bit cautious. So with this picture, it's okay to be curious, and it's okay to be a bit confused and to question it, but just don't trust it. And as we say, this one is probably a joke, because really, would you build a giant freezer to put all the ice in? Is that something that scientists would do? Would that even work? So it does sound like a joke, doesn't it? Would you trust this, or would you check it? Everyone's a winner. Enter your email and click spin to find out which prize you've won. Talk about it with a grown-up. Well, it can be really tempting to enter competitions online, and sometimes they are real, and you can win some great prizes. So it can be helpful to think to yourself that if something seems too good to be true online, it probably isn't true. How likely is it that everybody who puts their email into this address will get a free phone, a new car, lots of money, a big lovely holiday somewhere really hot? How likely is that if 1 million people put their email address in? Doesn't seem likely, does it? This might be an example of what's called phishing, so P-H-I-S-I-N-G, trying to collect personal information in email addresses to get access to people's accounts. So sometimes people online try to get email addresses so that they can send you emails to offer to sell you things, etc. So be careful about putting your email address into things, because if you do, you could end up with lots of junk and spam mail with people selling your email addresses on, and also you aren't likely to win anything. Okay, so how would this make you feel? I hope this would make you feel a bit angry and a bit shocked that people do this, but just be aware of it so that you don't do anything online that compromises your safety. Okay, I've got another one. Would you trust this or would you check it? So Kyle Shots 3456 a week ago posted amazing trick shots, first time, crazy skills. He had 35,000 views there. What would you think if you saw this? Would you trust it or would you check it? Right, so the first thing to say here is that as Thomas Harding students, we know, don't we, that you can't do amazing things first time. It's growth mindset that gets you there every time. It's working hard at something and practicing it every single day and getting there gradually until eventually you've got mad skills that actually you have earned and you deserve. Nobody does anything first time, okay? First time they try something. They might have a bit of beginner's luck, but it's not skills. Not skills that are going to be sustained over time anyway. And you've got to remember as well that just like photos, videos can be edited too. You might not be given all the correct information. And in this example where it says first time trick shot, we know, don't we, that is probably not true. And it's more than likely took a lot of time and effort to get those trick shots in the goal. So be cautious. Videos and photos are edited online and everything might not be what you would first think it is. So how would this make you feel? Just have a think in your own mind about how that would make you feel. Okay, well, hopefully you feel happy with that information because actually once you've got that information, you are now empowered to look at things differently, okay? And to not trust everything you see, but to be cautious about what you believe when you see things, especially when they're photos and videos. Okay, trust this or check it. This is the last one. So Green's under 2. It says add friend at the top again, so you're not already friends with this person. Can't believe we've been playing together for a whole year. No way, feels like I've known you forever. We should meet up in person sometime to celebrate. I want you to pause this now and I want you to talk to a grown-up or an older person in your house, whether that's a sibling or a cousin, and just discuss how this makes you feel and what you should do. Okay, so it's really important that you always keep your personal information safe online. If a stranger online asks to meet up or for any personal information or for pictures or for videos, it is really important you do not share any of these and that you tell an adult you trust straight away. I cannot emphasize that enough. You must do that. They can help and they'll make sure that the correct action is taken, like blocking the user so that they can't contact you again and making a report. Okay, this is another reason of why it's really important that you limit your friends lists online to people that you know in real life. Okay, because you do not know who Green's under 2 is. They might act like they're your age, they might speak like they're your age, they might come across and you might fully trust that they are your age, but you have no evidence that they are, even if they were to share a photo with you. You would not be able to prove that was them. It's so important you talk to people you know online and that you give out none of your personal information and you do not ever agree to meet up with somebody. And if they ask any of those things of you, you tell someone you trust. Okay, really important. This message stem here, if I saw this, this would really worry me. And I'm sure it would really worry your parents. So it's important that this makes you act. You must not trust this kind of message. So, great job. Lots of great conversations, I hope, have happened there for you, whether you've had those conversations in our classrooms, in school, or at home with your grown-ups. So hopefully through all of that now, you're ready to ask the next question I've got for you, which is what should you do then if you see something we're not sure we can trust it, online. What should you do? I hope you're all screaming now, tell a grown-up. Ask for help. You need to think of yourself as an internet detective, and I want this to start today. You need to actively try to find out more. It's really important to question things online. Ask yourself, what is it trying to get me to do? And what are the risks? You could ask an adult, or you could look on another website or app. 3 is a good number to check. You could also look in a book. So talk to a couple of adults, have another look on a website, have a look at a couple of websites, talk to an adult. Being an internet detective will help you to become more aware and help you to make sensible decisions on whether something is trustworthy online or not. But remember, just like in the game we played today, we also need to think about what we see online and how it makes us feel. Okay, so whether it makes you feel upset, scared, curious, angry, worried, confused, all of those feelings are okay. All of those feelings are normal. There's nothing wrong with any of those feelings. But remember, you are surrounded by grown-ups that love you at home and in school. And it is fine for you to open up and talk to them with us about them, because all we care about is keeping you safe. All we care about. And as grown-ups, of course, we've got more experience of how to do that than you have. So sometimes it might feel like we're trying to stop your fun, but actually we're not. We're trying to keep you safe. And we know how to do that. So you have to trust us. So it's really important that you talk to an adult for help and support. It could be a grandparent, it could be a teacher or an LSA in school, it could be a mum, it could be your dad. And of course that list is as long as your family is wide. It could be anybody. Somebody you know will look after you and help you. And remember, there's lots of information when you go online. Some of it's true, but some of it's not. And it's really important that you use the advice that you will have learned in this assembly, but also that you will learn today in your classrooms to keep yourself safe online. Do not automatically trust anything you see online. As I said at the very beginning, you don't know who's put it online. Anyone can put something online. Therefore, it is not automatically trustworthy. So, as I said, you'll be learning more about reliability and trust online later today and later this week. So thank you for joining in. Thank you for engaging in the conversation. And I hope that everyone has a happy, safer internet day this year. Bye-bye, everybody.